Hello, successionaires, and welcome to the national TV and conference call talk show, The Road to Success. I'm your host, Professor William Murray, and as always, the God in me greets and blesses the God in you. I'm glad to see y'all tuning in to the show, The Road to Success, because this is all about you. It's all for you, where you can get questions answered and give you a chance to give your opinion on any topic. Like I always tell you, if you learn something, teach us. If you know something, tell us. This evening's show topic is health and life benefits of exercising. You know, that's something that you must do for your whole life is exercise. Idleness is the worst thing that you ever do to your body. And I got an expert I'm going to bring on the show in a moment. That's going to be able to tell us the importance of exercising. Because I know what it did for me a couple of years ago when I had an accident on the tennis court. I tore up my shoulder and messed up my back. I had to have surgery on my shoulders. I tore up my rotator cuff. And even when I had bypass heart surgery in 2017, doctors told me it's going to be a while before I be able to do anything. But I went to my doctor after 90 days, telling him, man, I can't sit around idle like this. Can I get back on the tennis court? He said, man, it's 3 months. You want to go back on the tennis court? He said, I tell you what, you can go, but you can't be running and jumping and doing all this other stuff. I said, I just want to just, swing the racket a little bit. I'm not going to be chasing no balls. He says, okay. Well, when I 2 years ago when I tore up my shoulder and messed up my back, and I did go to the doctor. I had to have surgery on my shoulder, but like something stupid, I didn't go get my back examined. And that really cost me a lot for not going to the doctor to get my back examined. I was just dealing with the pain, says it's going to cure, I'm going to be better. Not thinking and realizing, man, you in your 70s, brother. You ain't going to heal like you used to. And the pain is there, and the way you hit that metal pole, and like I said, you lucky you walking. Because they thought I had knocked myself out and broke my back the way I hit. So I lucked out, and I've been active my whole life. Now to have to slow down to a pace that is very, 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 very hard and disturbing. Because when you're active your whole life, I had never been sick. I only been in the hospital one time up until December. I had to go December because I had a very bad session with vertigo. And then again in January, I had another session with vertigo. They had to rush me to the hospital. But that's the only time. I've never been to I don't know what sickness is. I don't even have arthritis or bursitis. I haven't had a cold in 50 years or more. That's how healthy I am. And I'm still healthy because I had a physical last week and week before last. I went through a full physical. Took 2 or 3 different doctors that I went to for my physical. So now to have to be able to not hardly be mobile at all is very, very hard. So I'm telling you, you have to just be proud, be glad, because like I said, age, getting old, we're older. See, age ain't nothing but a number. And one of the things that I just posted says, old is a state of mind, older is a blessing. But when you exercise your whole life and you're an athlete, like I'm an athlete, been an athlete my whole life. I played softball, baseball, I played football, tennis, You name it. I had the ability to play it, but I now to have to be going through what I'm going through is hard, very hard. But I'm adjusting. I have no choice. I have a gentleman on the line that I'm going to bring up that we're going to talk about health and life benefits of exercising. If it wasn't for this gentleman, I don't know where I would be. Because of him, when I messed up my shoulder and I couldn't do nothing, and I couldn't even raise my shoulder, my arm, or nothing. So I started taking water aerobics. I mean, I'd seen them do it. I'd been there and watched them and everything. But then finally, when I got in and started doing, that's the best thing I could have done. That is the best thing I could have done. So I'm going to introduce y'all. I'm going to let him tell more about himself. Welcome, my brother. How are you?
I'm doing,
Tyrone Dixon.
I am doing great. How are you
Good.
today?
Oh, man, if I was doing any better, brother, I'd have to be you. Tell us a little bit about you, Tyrone. Tell us who you are, what you do, and then we'll get into all of the other things, health and life benefits of exercising. Give us a little rundown on Tyrone Dixon.
Tyrone Dixon, yes. I am originally Lower East Side, was able to go to a very good high school, Brooklyn Tech High School, which really changed my life to a large degree. It gave me opportunities that I probably wouldn't have had if I didn't go to that school. At the time, it was an all boys school. So it kept me focused on engineering. I played for the basketball team for 1 year. So I was always into exercising and sports. And then I grew up, of course, graduated and went to New Jersey. Lived in New Jersey for about 20 something years, actually. And in 2010, I decided to become a spin instructor. Now, I've always exercised, going to the gym all the time, basically doing, working out, weight training. And then I met this woman who was a cycle instructor. And I asked, I said, how do I get really lean and muscular? And she said, take cycling. I fell in love with cycling. I was going practically every day. And then she
Wow.
suggested that seeing that I love to exercise and love cycling, she said you should become a cycle instructor, and that's what I proceeded to do. I got certified and became an instructor in 2010. So that was a great experience for me. 3 years later, I decided to branch out and do something else, and that was Aquafit. Fell in love with Aquafit and started actually doing more Aquafit training. Concentrated on cycling and Aquafit. So that's a little bit about myself.
Well, see, that's how I met you, man. Because when I met you, and the first time you saw me in the water, I was trying to get the ability to raise my left shoulder, because I couldn't. Man, that was
Hmm.
one of the best things I ever did, man. When I got in your Aqua, and I love your class, man. And it's obvious. It is very obvious that you enjoy it because you are one of the better instructors I've had since I came to your class. I've been in a couple other people's classes, but don't none of them compare to yours. I got to give it to you, my brother. I got to give it to
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Your class is definitely a cut above the other classes I was in. I'm just mad now because right now I can't. I was back in your class until January when I had this other episode of my problem
Yes.
that's bugging me now, of vertigo. But you don't realize what you done for me, man. You don't realize what you done for me when I got in your class. That's the best thing I could have ever done. Because
Yes,
I
I
was in the
remember that
gym
you said your shoulder improved, your health of your shoulder improved.
dramatically. Because I was in the weight room working out, doing this, doing that. But when I got in your Aquafit class, man, that was the best thing I could have ever done. And you are good at what you do. And the reason you're so good at what you do is because you love it. You know, it's like it's not a job to you, it's an enjoyment.
It is. It's and it's at this time.
Repeat that because you froze up. Repeat that.
I said I enjoyed even more than I did before. So I always enjoyed it, and that's why I began teaching aqua, but I love it now. I really am passionate about it. I try to get folks to also enjoy setting up like a party mood and be active, uh, get loud, have fun. Come on out and enjoy yourself. That's what I like to see when they come to my class.
What's the benefit of Aqua?
Well, like any exercise, there are several benefits of any aerobic exercise. Mainly that you feel happier. You really do. Most folks who come to a group fitness type training, they're happier that they're there because number one, it's a motivation when you have folks in the class just like yourself.
Yeah,
You feed off of that. You feed
yeah.
off of that energy. And it's the health benefits, of course, it exists. It improves your cardio strength, and that's very, very important as we get older. Even more important as we get older. Um, so we need to keep our heart rate up or get our heart rate up a little stronger. That increases the ability for us to breathe more efficiently. It strengthens our lungs, our lung capacity, and that years ago doing a lot of weight training and doing more aerobic training along with weight training because that's critically important. And of course, exercise uh, helps with weight management. As we get older, sometimes it gets more difficult to keep our weight down because as our metabolism slow down, even if we're eating the same amount of food, we have to be very careful about the amount of sugar, calories that we intake. And that's something that we all need to watch.
You know,
We're in
that's
a
something we're going to
dangerous.
talk about too, Tyrone, is
Okay.
diet. Now, I know, and one thing about Aqua, I love water. You know, I grew up swimming in the rivers and swimming across the river, and I love water. And when my wife and I go to the beach, or we go somewhere like we've been out the country to several islands, man, early in the morning, I'm down there laying on the beach, out in the water, and I just love it. I mean, it's just I just love water. I love the fish, and that's I mean everything like that dealing with water is very comforting. And that aqua is not as hard an exercise, but it's just as beneficial as the hard exercises. It's just as more. Water is soothing, man. Water is
Yeah.
very soothing.
And the resistance that water gives you is not as hard as doing like full out weight training. The
Right.
buoyancy that water gives us when you exercise in the water is that it's easy on your limbs. It's easy, so you're not straining as much as when you do weight training, for example. So basically, you're doing aerobics, you're pushing against the water, so there is some muscle building that's going on.
Yes. Yeah, I'm telling you, I love it, man. 'Cause what I'll do, I'll get there about a half an hour, 45 minutes before class, and I'll do a real light workout on the knotless machines
Mm-hmm.
before I get into your class. I know once I get in your class, man, I'll be so daggone relaxed, But I do a little mini workout before your class, and then when I get in the water, man, it's just so relaxing, man. It's hard to describe what it does for you until you people don't realize the value of Aquafit. They
Well, it's resistance training. Aquafit is resistant training in the water. So the water is your weights to some degree because you're pushing and pulling against the water, but without the pain that weight training would give you. And it adds to, like I said, cardio workout. For example, my feeling is, well, it's not my feeling. The fact is, we need more men to embrace aerobic type exercises, and we need more women to embrace a little bit more weight training. If you come to aqua class, those who haven't been to aqua class, probably 95% of the people who come to aqua class are female, are women.
Yeah, they are. They
Not
are.
enough men do aerobic training. They think that just doing weight training. So I would encourage more men to come and check it out.
I think it's just a mental psychological thing for men. I really do. They don't see the benefit because I didn't
Okay.
until I got in your class. Your class was the first one I ever been in. As much as I love water, your class was the first class that I ever been. I tell anyone, get in an aqua class. And what it's going to do, even mentally, what it does for you mentally
So
is
think
very
about
beneficial.
this. Think about this. Is you can say aqua is a combination of aerobic exercise with
Yeah,
resistance.
yeah.
And that will maximize weight loss, maximize fat loss. It's weight training. It manages, you can manage the upper body if you wish, or even your legs if you wish. Most of the
Hmm.
time, I do a combination of upper body training and
Yeah,
lower
you
body
do.
training with
You
kicks,
do. Yeah,
side to side kicks, running in the water, which will increase your heart rate. But the
yep,
good thing also about aerobics, I mean, about aqua training is some exercises like cycling, for example, indoor cycling, you
yeah.
can
We're gonna get
really
into that too. Yeah.
get your heart rate up. You can really push it to a level that you're not going to get it in a aqua class. But in a way, that's the benefit of aqua.
Tyrone, to me, your classes are like Zumba in water. It's almost like taking Zumba but in water, and I mean it's a lot easier than Zumba,
Okay,
but it is the benefit is because I I can't do all that stuff they be doing in Zumba, man.
okay. I can't either. That's not me. I can't dance like that. I can't move
No,
like that.
but see, even with your music you play, you can dance, but nobody can see you but you. The class can't see that you ain't really moving in rhythm, you know.
That's okay. And music is a motivator. I just jumped to that quickly. Music sets a tone. So uh, some folks, it's funny when I was training in, it was just you did the aqua class. I directed the members to do certain routines in the water. We did not use music. When I came down to Maryland, I moved out of Maryland about 4 years ago, and I started doing cycling first. And then they said, "Oh, would you like to also do Aqua?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd like to do Aqua." And they told me they use music in Aqua. That was just so exciting to me, to be honest with you. I never used music in Aqua. The only issue with my music is that I started using more dance music, which down here they're not as accustomed to. But I guess some folks that got used to it, and some folks. But music is a good motivator.
It is. It's more enjoyable when you got
It's more
music,
enjoyable.
especially the music you play, because most of us in there are senior citizens or close to it. Let's say 50 up.
Yes,
We got some of them that are younger,
yes.
but the majority of them, I would say, are at least 40, 45 and up. And, black folks like music. I don't care what you say. Black folks like music. You throw some Michael Jackson in there and you throw some James Brown in there, you know.
And I actually had to adjust to doing more of that because I was playing music that I'm pretty sure some of the people would tell you they didn't know what the heck I was playing. So yes, I had to adjust to mixing in some of the R&B artists and things like that, which is fine.
People who are, something else, man, aqua is good for arthritis. It's
Well,
very good for arthritis.
it's a good exercise. It plays a vital role in building and maintaining strong muscles
Yeah.
and bones. So yes, I mean, there's people that have come to my class. There's a woman that will come to my class in Crofton. She had a stroke several years ago, and she said she went to a doctor about a last fall, and she said her doctor told her, "I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it," because she has movement now that she didn't have a year ago.
I
And,
understand
and
that.
she
I
said to
understand
me,
that.
"It's because of your class. It's a motivator."
And it makes you move. I'm telling people out there, if you got problems and you want to get in shape, but you're not a gym person, not an exercise person, get in an aqua class. And you can see there's a big difference, but it's not as hard as the gym workout, but it's just as beneficial.
And the fact that a group fitness class encourages people to sometimes be competitive, which is okay to
Yeah.
do.
Well,
So, because when you see the person on your left doing this and the person on your right doing it, and you're like, "Oh, I got to do that too. I gotta." She's up there, she kicking her legs, she going left and right, and there's an excitement that come to everybody when you're in a group fitness class, and then it's fun.
it is
You're,
fun.
you're probably gonna have people that you said, "Come to class." You don't you Generally speaking, people don't work out as hard as they would in a group fitness class
Yeah, or in just a gym period.
in a gym period. But even then, and I can tell you in the gym, even there's people that will, let's say, do weight training. They'll do a set. 10 minutes later, they're doing the next set because they're talking and chatting and all that kind of stuff. But in a group fitness class, you got 50 minutes, 55 minutes to work out. It's
Yeah.
nonstop. So you tend to push yourself to that level.
Because you see the people around you doing. I just it's hard to explain, man, because I know what it did for me. I ain't tell you no lie. I know what it did for me. Now, what I got to do, man, is I'm hoping, because I'm asking the doctor next week, because I told you I'm going to see a specialist next week to find out is it okay if I get back into exercising again and how not to do nothing to make me have another vertigo session. I want to get into your bike class too. I do. I want to get into your bike class.
Let me say about my bike class, and I don't know
Cycling,
who
yeah.
may be on that have been to my cycling class. I'm a crazy man in cycling. I go non-stop. My Thursday, I only teach cycling now 3 days, actually 4 days a week. 3 days a week, I'm sorry. Thursday, Saturday, and now I'm teaching on Sunday temporarily until they find an instructor up in Silver Spring. But my class is non-stop. I start, folks know at 9:10, my class is starting. I try to be on time all the time. But it's a great class. But the good thing about that class is I tell people who are new, pace yourself. Don't look around and see these people who've probably been doing this for years. Your heart rate will skyrocket in cycling. So you have to pace yourself. But it's a fun class also.
And that's one of the best exercises you can do. Period is bike riding. Because I got two bicycles.
Hmm.
I got one, man. My favorite bike is amazing. Is a Peugeot I bought in 1987, and I've got one that my sons gave me that's about a year old maybe. And I prefer my bike I got in '87 because
Okay.
I had it redone. I had made it 12 speed, and I can pick it up with my fingers. It's just so light.
Oh, okay.
And it's a Peugeot because back then, man, I looked it up. I got it for a bargain. Can't tell you how I got it and what I paid for it, but and I looked it up back in 1987. That bike was between $600 and $800 then. And I've had people offer to buy my bike. I said, "Oh no, I can't sell this one."
Do
But I
you?
love the bike ride, man. I used to ride 10 miles a day, 20 miles a day.
Yes.
Uh, I just rode. I just love to ride. Put my little earpiece in, put me or Les Brown on, man, and just ride.
Okay.
Cause music is okay, but when I'm riding like that, I like something in my ear that's gonna keep my mind going. So, cause I'm not a music person. I'm an information junkie.
Yes.
And with me knowing Les Brown for all these years, I love his tapes and everybody who's energetic in their speaking presentation.
He's a
Dr.
motivator.
Thomas, who's in his speaking presentation, is very energetic. But I want to get in your class, man. But I know I'm coming in as a beginner, man. I ain't gonna be able to do the pace you do, brother.
No, you just take your time. There's a one of the members who take my aqua class. She just joined the cycling class on, I think, last Thursday, and she stayed for about maybe 35 minutes. But that was a big deal for her.
Yeah.
She said it. She did say, she said this is much different. I said yes, it is. But at least she attempted it. I've had people come into the class and they'll stay to 50, 55 minutes. They may not go as hard as we go, but that's okay. You get your heart rate up, you come back, the stamina builds up, the endorphins in your body builds up, you get happy about it, you feel good about it. There's some folks that's dancing and singing to some degree, and I say dancing because they're on the bike, but just
Yeah.
enjoying the class and doing their thing, and I encourage that.
Well,
it's
I
it
can't. I can't wait till the doctor turn me loose. I'm praying doctor tell me I can ride a bike.
Yeah, you will.
Because I want
And the
to,
thing
man, but
is,
I
if your
know I
doctor
can't.
if the doctor could turn you loose to do that, at least in the beginning, um being in an indoor cycle class would be the best thing because you're probably at least a little more secure. You mean
Yeah,
you know what I mean in terms of not outside on the street. Um, you're in a controlled environment.
yeah, because I know last time I rode my bicycle in the street, what was about a year ago or long, I fell off 3 times. I have no balance. My vertigo, I have no balance.
Hmm.
I have to be very careful when I even walk. Because now, if I walk anywhere, I'm walking with a cane, which I hate. Oh my God, I hate a cane. But right now I'm at the place in my life with my vertigo. I have to, because my balance isn't there. Because people don't realize your balance is centered in your ear
Yes.
and your big toe. If you ever lose a big toe, you got to learn how to walk again.
Mm-hmm.
And if your ears get infected, or like in my case, I got vertigo, you your balance is so far off. You have to be very, 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 very careful. Like I can't shake my head yes and no, because it like to throw it off and I'll have a session. I have vertigo sessions. I have to be very, very careful. Uh, but I'm wanting to get back out there, Tyrone. So when I get in your class, brother, I know I'm gonna love it because I love riding too much.
Yes. Yes. But and also I know what you're missing. One of the other things you're probably missing is that one of the benefits of aerobic training, aqua or cycling, is that it's relaxing once you achieve it. Once you start doing it, it's relaxing. It will improve your mental state. A lot of people don't realize that exercising is beneficial to your mental state. It calms you down. It's relaxing. It improves, unless you drink a lot of caffeine at night, it improves your
Oh,
sleep quality,
hmm.
and it creates or stimulates restorative or restoration in your body processes. Basically, like it restores your health, the health to your body, because once you start working out, it promotes cell growth, right?
Yeah.
And it promotes a mental attitude that you'll have towards working out. You'll probably want to do it unless you have some health issues. You'll probably want to do it more often.
Well, and you know what? And be honest with you, if you change your diet to your correct diet, man, you talking about weight, you be losing weight like crazy, and you'll be solid. What it does for your body, it because you're burning up fat.
Yeah, and it's a combination healthy lifestyle. Then we are talking about a combination of working out, exercising, but healthy eating.
Yeah,
And that's one of the problems that we have um, in our communities. You know, it's a scary fact that people of color, that the di- the diabetes has been increasing in our communities for many years. And we may get to the point where 50% of Black Americans have diabetes. That's a scary number.
and it all comes from diet. You know, I look at me now. I haven't eaten meat. I haven't eaten red meat, pork, dairy products in almost 50 years. I'll be 74 this year.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had a cold in almost 50 years. I don't have diabetes. I don't have high blood pressure. I don't none of that. Flu, cold, arthritis, but none of it. And that's because of my diet. For me to be going through what I'm going through now because of vertigo.
Yes.
Because if it wasn't for my vertigo, man, I'd be out there, brother. Because it sure took me for a loop. But I know God taking care of me, and I've been healthy all my life. And as I say, I've been so healthy. He said, "Well, how come you ain't got this and that? You ain't went through this at your age?" Diet, diet, and exercise because I'm an athlete and I'm an exercise junkie. Riding bicycles, playing ball, playing tennis. I used to play tennis 3 or 4 times a day. I mean, 3 or 4 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
And what that does for you, man, is unbelievable.
It is. There's no doubt about that. But I just want to also get back to, I just want to tell everybody a story about my health issues that I had back in October
Yeah.
because it was critical, as some people may already know. So back in October, the first week of October, I was out, went to the movies, was having a great time, and I had some popcorn in the movie theater, and was heading home, and all of a sudden, just got very, very, very sick. I couldn't drive anymore, so I had asked my friend to drive me home. By the time got home, I was basically bedridden. So I was fine the next morning, and unfortunately, I wasn't fine at all. I had to be rushed to the hospital that afternoon, and I had a blockage, complete blockage of my intestines.
Wow.
Yes. And they basically said to me, we have to do surgery now. So I had surgery that night, thank goodness. And people ask, well, what did you do or not do? So my point is that I work out all the time. I may not be the best eater, but I'm not the worst eater. I'm not a sugar person, things like that. I don't like a lot of salt. But unfortunately, things can happen. But fortunately for me, my exercise routine saved my life.
That's what saved my life with my heart. When I had triple bypass, they
My
said
life.
that I was so healthy.
That's right.
That's the reason I had a stroke or a heart attack. But mine
Yes.
closed up on me. My arteries just closed up on me like bam. I was
Mm.
walking across the street. I was going across the street. When it hit me, man, I couldn't even walk. I couldn't even cross a 2-lane highway,
Yep.
2-lane street.
But fortunately, they got it in time. They fixed it. They had to remove part of my intestines. They removed the blockage, and the blockage was caused by scar tissue that attached itself to my intestines from an appendix that blew 10 years before that. No, maybe it was more than that, actually. It was in 2003 that my appendix blew.
20 years.
And let me tell you something about that incident. My appendix blew mid August of that year. I didn't go to the hospital until the end of August because I didn't feel the pain that people say I should have felt because I was a gym rat.
Yeah.
Fortunately, though, when I finally went to the hospital, I went in time because, you know, my body was full of mess. I'll say it that way, that they had to clean out. I asked him, I said, so what are you going to do when you're going to operate? He said, we can't operate now. They had to put me on antibiotics for a month before they removed
Hmm.
and fixed my appendix or remove it and then sew it up. So I say that also, I have worked out all my life, hard workouts, practically every day because of the recent incident that might have been a mistake because I should control my workout a little more, control what I'm doing. Don't be so obsessed. So I'll tell people, don't be so obsessed with working out. You have to take some time to allow your body to recover.
Yes.
And I did not do that. It saved my life, but it might have been the thing that did not save my life.
But you know, when you're an athlete like we are, Tyrone, and we're always on the go, just got to be doing something. Uh, we think we're invincible. We really have that invincible mindset. Because my wife right now won't let me do nothing. And I keep telling her, baby, I'm not an invalid. She says, yeah, but you
Well,
know,
you
you can't
know,
do this, you can't do that.
I have a friend that tells me, Tyrone, you do too much. And she was actually very, very helpful in me down. Because believe me, after I got, I mean, a week after I got out of the hospital in October, I was ready to like, oh, I got to get back in the gym. And she was like, no, you don't. And my family said, Tyrone, calm down, relax,
Take your time. I know.
take my
I
time.
know.
And I remember you saw me at the gym when I returned.
Yes, I
You
was
asked me,
there.
are you okay?
Yeah.
And
I was surprised to see you there that soon.
oh, yes, most people were. Most people were.
Lines are open. If anybody out there got any questions or any comments, all you got to do, lines are open. Somebody talk to us. Anybody out there want to talk to us? Well, Tyrone, like just me and you, nobody wants to talk to us. And we
Oh,
got people online now. We got people online.
come on, come on. Don't be
Yeah.
afraid. I'm here.
Well, like I mention this all the time about my buddy who just passed about 3-4 weeks ago, Joe Madison. Used to tell me, for every 100 people that tune into the show, maybe three will speak up. He said maybe three,
Hmm.
and he's right. I've got people all online right now, but no one's going. That's okay because closed mouth, closed mind ain't never gonna get fed. So I try to ask the questions that they would ask, but it's better when they come on. See, people think anybody online because they want to speak up, but they're online. I can see it. I got a computer here that's got everybody that's on.
I'm ready. I'm ready to at least give my opinion and answers if they want to talk. Maybe it's somebody I know.
Yeah, it might be. But man, people, I can understand it because it was years before I would ever call into a show and say anything. Because I would listen. I mean, I was listening every day. 'Cause I've never been a music person,
Hmm.
and I would never call in. And now I'm even almost like that now. But every night I say I gotta call in. I got questions or I can answer stuff because like I've been doing this show here for 12 years. I've done over 1,000 shows, and I've got almost 400 videos on YouTube. So and it's just they've got to learn to speak up.
Is that, wait, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, yes.
Can I ask a question? Because I was signed off briefly.
Yes, please. Please do.
Okay. So, and I joined in a little late, so I didn't get to hear all of what was said. But was there any mention of resting, sleeping? Like, is there more to it than just the eating? Is there a factor of with working out how much sleep one gets?
Yes,
Is that important?
yes, it's actually very important, and I don't know at what point you might have dropped off, and I was mentioning that at some point when I was hospitalized in October, and after I started getting well, I knew I needed to rest because I was mentioning that I had a friend that was always telling me you do the most, and I needed to start looking at that. I was obsessed with working out, and after my incident in October, the surgery and everything, I was ready to get out the hospital. Not only get out the hospital quickly, but also to start getting back into the gym. So rest is extremely important. And I think that what I figured out recently is that my obsession with working out has not been as beneficial as I thought it was.
Right. Right.
Recently, I needed to start doing more rest. So I have for everybody who's on the call, I have a project management mindset. I've always had. I use tools to kind of keep me on track. So one of the things I was doing every morning, I had on my phone, send me a message. Crunches, 2,000 crunches. I was doing 2,000 crunches a day. 2,000 crunches a day because on my phone it pops up 2,000 crunches. I have it in the calendar. I was putting pressure on myself to make sure I get that done. Now the benefit of that is to some degree you're working out. I'm using those tools to kind of put my mindset into working out. But at the same time, I had to pull back because I was putting pressure on myself to always work out. So yes, sleeping and resting, I'm learning that more and more that sleep extremely
Okay.
important.
Okay. Okay. Well, thanks for that balance. So there has to be a balance between eating and sleeping, right?
Yes.
What's the gap? Can you take off without it affecting your workout?
What do you mean take off? Take off time?
Yeah. How much time is a good time? Like, can you take off for 3 days, 4 days? How much time is too much time between a week? Okay, left. Okay, so let's say a week. Because I have someone I know, I'm just kidding, but who takes off 3 and 4 days at a time. Is that too much time in between a workout? How much
No.
time is between a workout?
Well, it all depends on the goal. So yes, 3 or 4 days can be too much if you have a goal. So let's say your goal is, for example, to run a 5K or a 10K. So you need to be consistent. You have to monitor your body. But what happens is, let's say your 10K, you've been working out and you're like 5 days from your 10K and you start slowing up. You don't realize that you lose that cardio strength fairly quickly. Unless you're 16 years old, 21 years old, if you're older, within 4 days, you're going to feel like, I thought I was in shape. No, because you have to kind of keep up a certain pace. Now, I'll say this, as a runner, you'll slow down that pace. But if you stop 4 days before a run, even marathoners, they run before the date they're ready to race that marathon. They don't
and
take
two
5 days
and
off. So
and two now.
you have to manage that.
Rest is very important. Now you can take a day. I'm saying I don't think you should work out 7 days a week. It's too much
No,
on
I'm
your
not
body.
saying that, but she's saying
But you
should you
gotta take a
go 4 days
day.
in a row?
Take a day, but you don't want to take a whole lot of days.
That's right.
Now I work out 4 or 5 days a week, but I'm on the go so much, and doing things, and I walk fast. God, my wife always telling me, "Baby, slow down, baby, slow down."
You from New York? Because I
No, I'm
walk
from West
fast too.
Virginia. The only way we can get anywhere was to walk.
So I walk like I'm a runner.
Yeah, that's where I
That's what
walk.
we do.
Yeah, my wife tells me, baby, slow down. But I said, oh, okay, I got to slow down so she can keep pace when
So
we're
let
going
me
into
say
a store or anything.
let me say this. So let's say you're used to working out 6 days a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and I'm talking about structured workout. I mean either weight training or classes, aerobic classes, or running or whatever. It's fine to take time off and do
Yes,
what I will call a non-structured workout, like dancing, for example, or a little trail walking, climbing a little hills and stuff like that. But at least you're getting that movement in, but it's not a structured workout where for 45 minutes you're doing some hard workout. So it is fine to take some time off. But let those days that you're taking time off be like, hey, I'm just going to be walking in the park today. I'm going to maybe do a little jog, but I am not attempting to kill myself today. Sometimes that's the habit I got into, and I was mentioning that earlier, that I got into the habit of thinking that I had to work hard every day. And I realize now, no, I do not.
and two now, well, not counting now, but up until my episode a couple months ago, I would take a little power nap during the day. If it ain't no more than 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you're giving your body a chance to unwind. And you can't stay in that mode of exercising all the time because after a while, you're doing more harm than good. You have to relax your body. Night sleep is the best time to sleep. If you go to bed at 10, your REM sleep don't come in till around 1:30, 2 o'clock. So that's when you're sleeping best. Uh, Now I know I almost had a nervous breakdown once and didn't know it because I was going to bed like 11, 12 o'clock and waking up at 3 and 4 o'clock and getting prepared and getting my stores ready to open, get my inventory ready. And one day I just couldn't remember. I'm serious. I was younger, and I couldn't remember from one room to the next. And I didn't know what the problem was. I was averaging 3 to 4 hours of sleep, and that's all a day, a night. And it got me. Oh, it made me one day. It made me. I didn't have no choice to slow down.
Interesting.
So you got to
So,
be careful.
and you know something, I'll
Okay.
say this. Let me add this because there might be people on that are working, let's say a evening shift or a night shift where their sleep is actually moved to a different time frame.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's where you do have to find that balance. Probably more important to find that balance because you may be sleeping in the morning when your body is saying, wait a minute, we should be sleeping at night. I used to work nights and I just could not do it anymore because my body got to the point it says I was sleeping once I got home, sleeping all day long, getting to work at night at midnight and still tired. So you have to manage that also. You'll find that balance.
We ain't
Okay,
got,
thanks.
we got,
Thanks.
yes, go ahead, dear, because we ain't got but a couple more minutes. Go ahead.
Okay. Did you mention anything about water intake or
Oh,
electrolyte balance?
oh, oh, go ahead, Tyrone, because I got an answer for that.
Well, water intake is critically important. And this is a person who don't be putting a little powdered tea in my water and stuff like that just to give it flavor. But yeah, water intake is critical. And the good thing about you know some people are going to say just water is fine, and I'm not saying it's not. But now you have these electrolyte powders and hydration powders, and I can tell you that has been very helpful to me. Those type of powders. I was in a class a couple months ago, and it was so hot in that class, and literally I almost passed out because I'm still working out. I had to. It took for a 20-minute trip home. It took me about an hour because I had to pull over to the side just to rest. By the time I got home, I was just so exhausted, and I
Yeah,
was dehydrated. I was dehydrated.
yeah.
So I would suggest if you work out like a crazy person like I do sometimes, get some hydration powder. It's it's good. It's
But you
beneficial.
got to drink water. You
But you have to
must.
drink
That
water.
is a must that you drink water. Don't tell me you don't like water. I don't care. You better drink it. I got a bottle that I fill up every morning, and I make sure I drink that whole big bottle of water. By the time I would go, well, after up until 7, 8 o'clock. After that, I don't drink anything.
And I'm better at that now.
Yeah,
I am better at
water's the most important thing. One of the most important things you can put in your body, because if you get dehydrated, you're talking about some ailments and some sicknesses. Because your body will shut you down.
but I want to be honest
So then
and
water
not
water
say I drink a
better
lot
than
of water
Gatorade.
when
Huh?
So water is better than Gatorade. Water is better than the
oh yes.
sugar drink.
Oh
Oh yes.
yeah, sugar. Oh, see, here's what you got to do. You've got to read the label. You got to research to make sure you're doing right. The information is out there. Information is there. If you don't know, it's on you because the information is there. Don't expect us to give you everything because we don't know your routine, and we don't just like people don't realize how important daylight is. One of the worst things that we can do as a people of color is not get that vitamin D sunlight because we got melanin in our skin, in our body. It must have daylight. I tell people, don't when you go to work, get off the bus or park 2 blocks from your job and walking every day. You're walking to and from and you're getting daylight. Daylight and water are very, very vital to people of color because of melanin in our system. But water is mandatory for our body. But people sitting they work in artificial light. They get there dark and leave, and you got to at lunchtime walk outside.
And hydrate before you get to classes. A lot of people will bring their water, open the bottle of water when they're in class, when they reach the class. Your body for the workout by drinking fluids. Drink water before you get to class.
And you can drink it during class too if you're in the water aerobics.
Oh yes,
Or now. Yeah, Tyrone. See, we ain't got time. We could go on and on, Tyrone. We could go on and on, man. 'Cause we talking about something I love. Because I'm gonna do a class in a couple of weeks here on diet, and I'm gonna let them know how to do diet and herbs. Because I'm a health junkie. I am a health junkie. I don't even have salt and pepper in my house.
Mm-hmm.
I have cayenne pepper, but black pepper and salt is not even in my house. Because I know what it does to you, and it's artificial. Like they say, you ain't really supposed to put a whole lot of white in your body. And one of the biggest problems that we do as a people is we grab. You want to put out my house? Come to my house, and I've been cooking, and you grab the salt shaker and put it on my food before you taste it.
Well,
I'll ask your ass to get up from the table.
that means they're carrying their own salt shaker.
Yeah, because I don't have salt in my house. I really do. We do not have salt in this house. I don't cook with it. Now I cook with herbs
Mm-hmm.
and spices, but I don't cook with salt. And you'll never know there's no salt in my food because the spices gives it a flavor that you're not going to get. And it's very rude to go to somebody's house and put salt on the food before you taste it. That's very rude. I'll put you out. I'm serious. I will ask you very politely to leave. That's like coming to my house, open my damn refrigerator. Now, homie, don't play that. Tyrone, it has been a pleasure, my brother. And I'll bring you back now. I'll probably bring you back in another 3 months. Because I enjoy this type of conversation. I really do.
Well, thank you.
I enjoy this, man. You're a fantastic guest and educator.
Thank you so
So
much.
we will be doing this again, man. My brother, all I can tell you is thank you, and thank you.
Thank you so much.
Did we answer your question sufficiently, dear?
I do. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for that.
All righty. Tyrone, we're going to do this again, brother. We got to do this more.
Okay.
I really enjoyed this.
Thank you, everybody, for joining.
So, and let me tell y'all in closing. Let me do this because this is true, y'all. I do need financial support for this show. I'm asking you to donate just $25 or more. And you can do it through Cash App at $W Murray. That's $WMURRY. You can do it through PayPal at paypal.me/MM Institute. That's cashapp.com/MM Institute. Or you can go to my website. I mean my email, and email me at what is it? You can send it to me at P.O. Box 47438, District Heights, Maryland 20753. I always tell you to always bring a pen and paper to my show because you're going to need it. And like I say, 47438, District Heights, Maryland 20753. If you want to get information and you want to talk to us, all you got to do is call me here at the Institute at 240-619-2019. And Tyrone, I forgot to ask you a question. So let me ask you right now. Is there a way, if you want, that people can reach you? Because you tell them what you are. LA what? LA Fitness?
Yes, I teach at LA Fitness. I have a Facebook page, Tyrone M. Dixon, but within that Facebook page, I have a group page called LA Fitness Tyrone. So that's where I actually post um, information about health, information about my workout schedule, information about motivational videos that is enlightening, that may encourage you to get out and class. Try to find another group fitness class, but get out there and do some movement. Moving is
If
important.
you don't do nothing but walk, because walking is one of the best exercises you can do, period. And if you're walking outdoors, or you're feeding your body that vitamin D, that sunlight, and you're exercising all in the same motion, which is very,
So
very vital.
if you look up LA Fitness Tyrone, you will find it. And then if you have any questions, you can send me questions there, and I will send you more information.
Tyrone, it's been a pleasure, my brother. And I'm gonna tell y'all what I always tell y'all, and please support the show, The Road to Success. I bring guests like Tyrone on at least 2 or 3 times a month. Now, Friday, I'm teaching Friday. So y'all gonna tune into what I'm teaching Friday. And in closing, I always tell you, if you push me, I'll pull you. If you pull me, I'll push you. It's not going to matter whether I'm pushing or I'm pulling. We're going to get there together, y'all. We're going to be successful. We're going to get there. And I'm going to give you a truth and a fact, because truth and fact are undefeated since the beginning of time. And the truth is, I love you. And the fact is, ain't nothing you can do about it. Until next time, everyone, I'm telling you, God bless. Until next time. Hang around, Tyrone. We can talk when I close off. Okay?
Yes.
All right. God bless everyone.
Thank you.
Spread the word. Tell them about the show now, y'all.